for training. We try and give a realistic scenario to all the trainers that are coming through here. The EOD technicians that come through China Lake are trained on the ordnance that they will find in the battle space that they're sent to, no matter where they go in the world. We have everything from bar mines for anti-tank, anti-vehicle, to rocket-propelled grenades that you see on the news quite a bit, to rifle-propelled grenades. 2 7.5-inch rockets, landmines, dispense munitions, fusing, you name it, we've got it.
For the EOD techs, each day of training involves a different set of these munitions. Instructors constantly vary explosives to mimic battle zones.
Bulk explosives are something else that our EOD technicians are going to encounter in Iraq and Afghanistan. Everything from TNT, which this closely resembles, it's a cast explosive, and TNT is the standard by which we measure all explosives and their power, to dynamite. It's something that's also very prevalent over there, used in the suicide vests and whatnot. And C4. The insurgents love this stuff because they can mold it, they can put it into the fuse wells of projectiles to use as roadside bombs. We also have training aids of a much larger variety. There are stockpiles of very large weapons, bombs that are in Iraq that are used by the insurgency. They like to put them in trucks and in cars and whatnot to use as VBIEDs. They also use them on the side of roads, buried or strapped to guardrails or whatnot. This is an example of what the insurgents would be doing with projectiles that they find in the stockpiled munitions over in Iraq and Afghanistan. They'll take them, they'll pull the nose fuses out, they'll pack the fuse wells with C4 or some other type of plastic explosives, and then they'll put them to a initiator, some type of a radio-controlled device that will detonate these things on command. We have an example of a suicide belt here. They would wear this in to a restaurant, a cafe, a line of folks that are standing around waiting to sign up to be police officers or part of the Iraqi security force, and you see that again all the time on the news that the suicide bombers go in. It's an example of a suicide vest.
Explosive belts are among the many weapons suicide bombers use in their attacks. Bomb technicians must be prepared for these sudden, horrific events. That preparation comes through good training. At China Lake, EOD instructors recreate the chaos of suicide attacks so trainees get a sense of the urgency.
There's EOD response from OB to 5. Hey, we got a guy came through the gate. We got to get on it.
The scenario: an attacker has rammed a vehicle through the command center's main gate.
He's down, the car's down.
Sentries shot the driver, who may be dead or not.
Vehicle made it through the gate.
For EOD trainees, it's a test of their speed. Instructors remind them to bear down on the work at hand.
As you walk onto a situation, the number one question that should be in your mind is, what can hurt me right now? And they should be thinking of this before they even get there.
To see what they're up against, the team deploys a Talon. The robot goes into action, showing the students how the human factor can complicate things.
Going past 15 minutes. They're wrong.
They were coming hard.
Yep.
The lens reveals not only a car rigged to explode, but a driver wearing a suicide vest.
That's the body bomb he was wearing.
All right.
We need to go down there with the hydrogen.
All right, I'm going to keep the camera standing off with the robot, and then let's try to get one of these doors open.
The Talon is a great little unit, but it can't open every door. Time to send in the varsity. Teammates watch from an armored vehicle as trainee Nick Tobacco approaches the car.
As you're an EOD tech approaching this situation, is there anyone else in the vehicle? Is there a radio control device that is hooked up? Is the man even dead?
Let's go.
Suddenly, the driver erupts into action, reaching for a trigger switch.
Human encounter is what I would consider the most dangerous because you really do not have any idea how it could function. The guy's got a detonator on his body. He could initiate it and therefore take himself and everyone else out.
Nick has taken out the driver, but he's not home free. He checks the trunk, finding a pair of fused artillery rounds. And through the rear window, he sees a second detonator. With both explosive trains broken, the vehicle is safe. Nick's teammates will remove the charges.
It's just the unknown. You don't know what you're going up against. It can be hundreds of different scenarios, and you've got to just hope you pick the right one and take care of it properly.
In Nick's line of work, the problems are never easy, and they're getting harder all the time. Stockpiles of leftover ordnance lie hidden in conflict areas around the world. EOD teams must destroy these caches. In enemy hands, they'd be the raw material for more IEDs. Teams are always on the move.
Our objective out there at this point is to clear any unstable rounds, and we'll define unstable once we get on site. And we're still going to maintain some security while we're out there. So we're going to post security on top of one of the vehicles just so you can have eyes up and take a look around. At least one person will be standing security. EOD guys, let's take all the small arm packages.
Weapons dumps usually consist of small arms rounds, artillery and rocket ordnance, and HE. Sometimes there's also paperwork. Even insurgents keep records. Teams collect the documents, set charges, and blow everything up.
We find ordnance in caches, warehouses, bunkers, under the ground, wherever you're going to find it. This stuff is usually removed if it can be. If not, it's detonated on site. It's placed out, it's stacked, or it's countercharged, main charged with other charges. Things are primed into, you back off, and you make them go away, and obviously they can't be used again.
Teams spend a great deal of time and energy detonating caches. In recent years, EOD has lit up enough explosives to level a good-sized city.
This program is brought.
China Lake's biggest exercises involve decommissioned heavy ordnance.
What we have here is 6 Mark 84 general-purpose bombs. They're up here for disposal. We're going to take the back ends of these things. These are unfused, so we got an open fuse well. We're going to pack a 1 1/4 pound block of C4 in here in place of a fuse and booster. Got some dead cord coming into them, and basically all the dead cords run into one simple priming loop. And all we're going to do is put some blasting caps on the end of these things, crank them off with some time fuse, and go up to a safe